Good morning, everyone, and what a beautiful Saturday morning to you all. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a fire skink setup and care. Now I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there about fire skink care, and I just want to share my knowledge as well. I'm not too keen on reptiles because I just started getting into the field of reptiles, but I do have some knowledge. So let's get into it. So obviously, first of all, I do own a fire skink. His name is Samson, as you can see in the top left corner, which is right there. That's his little sticker to know what he is. Yeah, I've had him for about 3 or 4 days now. He's a nice cute skink. And actually, I do have his shed from his last shedding, and here it is right here. This is just whatever good chunk of what was left from his shed. So if he were to come out, he's a very nice, colorful fire skink. But obviously, right now he's hiding because fire skinks are known to be burrowers. They don't usually like to come out that often unless they're eating or they're exploring their habitat. Um, but let's dive into their care. So, fire skinks need about 20 to 30 to 40 gallons, depending on how many skinks you're going to have. For just one, a 20-gallon tank would suffice. And you want to go 20-gallon long usually. 20-gallon regulars, which is the height difference, might be a little compact, even though it can hold 20 gallons. Usually, the most recommended is to go with the 20-gallon longs. That way, you just have more space and it looks more of a naturalistic look. As far as substrate goes, you want to. There's no real like yes, this is the best, and no, this one will not work. I'm using Reptibark. Just because I use Reptibark for my snakes, I use Reptibark for some of my other animals, and so far the reason why I chose Reptibark is because it can hold in the humidity. You want to be able to make sure that your substrate is moist, but not too moist because that could lead to injury and scale rot and etc. So the estimated depth you want to have is about 3 to 4 inches so that they could burrow and hide. You also want to have your food dish, which I have right there in the middle. It's for their mealworms, so the mealworms don't escape. You also want to have your water dish. Make sure there's clean water in there every day. You want to have your hide, which is right there. And also you want to have a basking spot or a basking decor, which I have right here, which is a really nice little log hideout slash basking area for him. And also you want to have some decoration plants just to give it that natural landscape and enclosure for him to be comfortable. Now let's go into lighting. So what I have set up here is a your typical heat lamp, and it's attached to a heat stand, so it's not directly on the top of the cover there. And I have a 75-watt basking light right there on the hot side, and on the cool side, well, technically on the cool side, I have my UVB flex strip on the left side. And the way how lighting goes is you want to be able to have or simulate a day-night cycle. So typically during this time of the year, you want to have at least 10 to 12 hours of daylight and at least 8 hours of nighttime. So My lights will go off at night so that it simulates a day and night cycle. As far as feeding goes, feeding your skinks, you want to be able to feed them mealworms and crickets, or if they're on a special diet from the breeders, you want to ask the breeders what they were feeding the skink, so that way it will continue its diet. Um, right now, with my skink, I'm feeding him mealworms and crickets. And the best way to tell whether your skink is eating, what I like to do is I'll place more mealworms than crickets, because with crickets, you know, they're always constantly jumping around and you don't know how many are in the tank. So like right now I have about 3 or 4 mealworms inside its dish and about 2 or 3 crickets. And so far I've seen just the mealworms. Maybe a cricket pops out every once in a while. But yeah, going back to my handling though, if you're ever gonna handle your skink, you, like I said, you have to be very careful, especially around their tail. You don't want to grab them by the tail. And also just be aware that if you have any other animals around, they can get stressed out very quickly, and they will try to squirm out of your hand, or they will try to move to a higher place or something. Um, so just be ready for that. You want to also make sure that with your substrates that you're misting your substrates to keep them moist on the top level 2 times a day, one in the morning, one at night. So yeah, and also as far as regulating your temperatures, you want to have a thermometer slash reader, so like hygrometers or thermometers to read your temperatures. Typically with skinks, you want to have them in the 80s to 90 level as far as your temperatures go. And you'll have a reader, which I have right there at the top of my tank, that reads the hot side. I need to get one for the cool side as well. So this is just to wrap up this video to teach you guys a little bit about fire skinks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'll start throwing in more videos about my other animals. I have king snakes, I have ball pythons, I have cats, I have a parrot, and tropical fish as well. So you could say I have a small little zoo going on here.